Welcome to PhD with Women on It, Hack the Future. My name is Beata Young, and today's PhD Positivity Hack delivered will be by our guest, Nikki Stewart. Topic: How to Find Digital Freedom. Episode 60 starts here. Let me remind you, this is a grassroots community that focuses on Women on It, an inclusive forum of women in technology, startups, and female leaders who are supported by men as well. And I bring heart to that hustle because empathy is my mojo, and empathy is critical when you are finding digital freedom. Hi, guys! Before we dive into the topic, let me remind you a few highlights. Great news, everyone, from Gunnar Stefansson, Smiley Charity Education in a Suitcase, received a grant from Sliding Through, who is a world traveler. It's great to see women breaking the glass ceiling. There is a new Cayman Islands Monetary Authority Deputy Head of Investments. Congratulations, Gayona Dubé. Congratulations as well to Manusha Shakaradas of Texas Instruments, as she is now part of Chief, a private network of empowering women. Chief maxim is: we are not waiting for a seat at the table, we are building our own. That's a good maxim to live by. Congratulations to Belinda Driscoll on becoming the first woman managing director of Kimberly Clark. She's not only the first woman managing director, she's also the youngest person appointed to the role. Great to hear Isavia Director of Digital Development, Raquela Ross Anguilar, finally picked up her award of Nordic Women in Tech Award for Digital Leader of 2021. Congratulations to Lacrelia, and continue to inspire women in tech. The inventor and CEO of the unbreakable pantyhose, Sheertex Catherine, raised 101 million, led by HM. Congratulations, Sheertex, and well done on this worthy investment, H&M. Well, let's go back to our lovely guest, and we are going to learn how to find digital freedom. As you can see, I'm enjoying this digital freedom in beautiful Caicos Islands, Grand Turk, and it's exciting time to live in a digital era. People are in a quest for a holistic lifestyle while taking advantage of technology and the powerful World Wide Web. The digital revolution has created a wide variety of opportunities. A decade ago, we could not imagine that we would be able to access such a broad amount of information today. Communications with others now cost a mere fraction of what they did a few years ago. Network, hardware, software, and all these services are accessible to the majority of the world's population at an affordable cost. Nikki, our lovely guest, also enjoys this freedom, and she's going to talk about it. And when pandemic happened, a lot of people, not just Nikki, not just me, entered into the freelancing ecosystem and launched their online entrepreneurial ventures. This allowed people to discover professional freedom through flexibility and the ability to work anywhere in the world. Nikki Stewart, our lovely guest, and brings lots of positivity, is a global marketing consultant and digital evangelist. She has spent over 20 years working in a range of marketing roles as a self-employed contractor. Nikki stepped out of the corporate world to explore life as a digital nomad. She worked and traveled and was based in Barcelona, Italy, and Turkey. It was during the nomadic phase that she crafted the term digital freedom. She believes that we can all monetize our talents and use the Internet of Things, technology, and innovation to communicate, collaborate, and connect and create digital freedom funnels. And we can create this great discussion today. Apologies for being late. We had some connectivity issues, but we are here, and Nikki is joining us from, where are
I'm
you
joining you
today?
from the UK, a little market town called Stone. So yes.
My goodness, not Turkey, not Italy, it's
Oh, I
stone.
wish it was. I wish I could say maraba or hola or ciao, but it's just hello today. It's a plain old
Just hello.
hello from the UK. Thank you for having me, by the way. I'm very honored to be here, speaking about
Um,
something that is so I'm so passionate about, digital
well,
freedom. Mm.
I'm delighted to have you, Nikki, because we only spoke a couple of times, but I was really, really positively surprised by your attitude, your go getter attitude, and also the fact that you have like no issues with joining anywhere. You were joining us today from a handheld device, and I asked you to join via laptop
Yes,
because I
that was a
thought,
bit of.
you know, it might be a bit touch and go. So I'm really
Oh
grateful
no,
for
no.
you.
I live and breathe digital. This is in my DNA. I'm almost a VP and a device myself. I am always digital, everywhere digital, screen, device, phone, because it's about intelligent connectivity. That's what will set us free. So yeah, this I don't just evangelize, I live it.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good point. Maybe next time we'll join you while you will be walking somewhere in the country.
Oh gosh, yes, it's beautiful around here. It's real English countryside. And I go for a lot of walks because that's the way I detach from digital. Just well, not fully because I take my phone and do some Instagram. But yeah, I love connectivity because it's very empowering for people, and it was only strengthened by the pandemic when people were forced to work from home. But people like me who have had the luxury of being a digital nomad, we knew the secret already that, if you're savvy, if you learn new skills, like no one taught me about Instagram. I learned it, although I've been in marketing for 20 years. When I first started marketing, there wasn't this Internet of Things. There wasn't personal branding. It wasn't commonplace to do things like monetize your skills, write an ebook. You can literally have a really niche skill now, and you can monetize it and make money from it and work from anywhere in the world, or just work from home because some people don't want to travel all over the world. Some people just want the luxury of working from home. They might be a mother. They might want to be able to pick up the kids, drop off the kids, and just have a bit more of a. There's another term that's bandied around, a softer life. So that's why I'm very, very enamored by digital freedom. Sorry, I'm just talking away.
That's great altogether. So, Nikki, let's go to your digital freedom definition, because
Mm.
usually digital freedom is assigned with freedom of speech, whereas you're talking
Mm.
more about the freedom of living anywhere in the world and connecting
Yeah,
from anywhere in the world, as long as the
yeah.
connection is good. I was telling you that we might have a tricky connectivity here,
Mm.
but hopefully we won't have any
Mm.
interruptions. So give us the definition of Nikki's digital freedom.
Well, the definition of Nikki's digital freedom is that you no longer have to buy into, you must work a 9 to 5, you must be based in an office, and you must do a traditional job. Digital freedom for me was about all I need in my life to create income is a mobile phone and or a laptop. And you could have one or the other actually, because mobile phone devices are almost like a mini laptop now, and I can work from anywhere. So it gives me the freedom to be able to style my work life balance, or it gives me the freedom, as we've already said, to monetize a talent. Am I a writer? Am I creative? Do I do gardening and I want to put a camera in the garden and show people how to do gardening? It could be absolutely anything that you can monetize. And, I knew from many years ago that people were making profitable incomes from this kind of living. It's more commonplace now to know that you can make a good income. You can match or go above what you would get in a salary job. So that's what digital freedom is. It is, you just need a device and you can work from anywhere. It gives you freedom. And everybody's definition of freedom is different. My freedom is I like to travel. I have wanderlust. I'm a nomad. Even in the UK, I've lived in different places, so I like that. As I said, another woman's freedom might be that she wants to be home with the children more. Maybe she's had a baby and she wants to have more time at home with the baby. There's all different definitions of freedom, but the freedom is that you dictate how you work and how you live through these connectivity provided by tools, unified communications tools, Skype, Zoom, StreamYard, Microsoft Teams. Yeah. Because as you
We,
said, everything's there free. It's free. The internet
yep.
is there. Well, we pay for Wi-Fi, obviously, but it's there. It's free, and it's to be used for our greater good, I think.
Absolutely. You mentioned the fact that you can choose how you work, where you work from.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me a very interesting story because just last night I chatted to some guy from America, and he was telling me that apparently big news of last week was that Google announced that they want to see their workers more often in their funky little offices. And apparently, there was an uproar of people not willing to go back to work because they enjoy their digital freedom too much. They don't
Yeah.
care about that spa, sauna, that lovely meals in the office.
Yeah, no,
They,
yeah. So we've had a real 360-degree turn. Before it was just the nomads, hashtag digital nomads that wanted to be free and work from anywhere and work what hours they wanted to work. But now, because of the pandemic, the hand was forced. Everybody had to work from home, work online, do live meetings and use all these tools that they wouldn't have wanted to in business of digital transformation digitally adopt before. But now they have adopted them. They've seen that one, they don't have to commute into work. Two, they don't really need a work wardrobe because they're just they're working from home. You still need a slight work wardrobe, but they're saving money, I guess, and they've got that freedom because they can just, probably go and quickly pick up the kids. So people are coming a bit more switched on. And I think my version of digital freedom is not far behind, where people start thinking, do I really need to be in this 9 to 5 job? Do I need to work for this global company, or can I create my own international global digital empire myself? And the answer is yes, because the internet's by default is global. It's a global platform.
Mm,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
We have got a couple of listeners. Some of them are quiet, others are tuning in and asking questions. That's lovely. We like to have
Okay.
inclusive discussion. Tell us where you're joining us from. We want to know whether you're digitally free or not. And we have got first question from Olga Vesina. Lovely to see you, Nikki. How do you approach traveling as a digital nomad? What do you have to pack in your luggage or carry on?
This is a brilliant question. I absolutely love it. I am the queen of packing in 5 minutes. If somebody calls me right now and says, Nikki, let's go to Italy, it would take me about 5 minutes to pack because I only pack a very capsule wardrobe. I pack quite light. I know how to fold my clothes so that they all, fit into a small case. So how do you approach traveling? How I approach it actually as a digital nomad is this. I usually go online and I go to a Facebook group from that area. Like you have expat groups or different communities, and I usually join that group, and then I start creating conversations with people in the group, and then I start learning about the area. Also, I go to Instagram and I search in the search bar for hashtag that area, and then, of course, all the posts come up from that area. So I know, what's the cafe, what's the hotel, what's the this, what's the that. And I also obviously book my flights. I usually go to Skyscanner, but I shouldn't be doing advertising for Skyscanner. But if you use an incognito window, the price doesn't keep going back because they haven't got the tracking of your cookies. So there's actually some hacks for making sure the prices stay cheap as well. And yeah, I don't always use traditional. I used to use Couchsurfer many years ago. It's a website where you could just couch surf and it was a lot cheaper way to travel. But yeah, packing, I keep it light, small case usually. And I usually plan to buy things in the place because, for example, Barcelona, you have Paseo de Gracia, beautiful clothes shops. So yeah. And I usually just pack flip-flops, maybe one sort of heel and a trainer, if that, because usually I will buy something in the destination. Helps you to travel much lighter.
Great advice. So couch surfing is definitely place to go if you want to travel on a
Cheaper.
budget.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely. Well,
yes.
that means also that you have to open your house to other couch surfers.
Yeah,
Is
that's what I
that
used to do.
correct?
So when I lived in Turkey, I met one of my closest friends, an Argentinian guy through Couchsurfer because he came to my home and stayed for about a week. And also, I was hosting another person at the time, and we were like a little family. We just connected and got on very well. And then they can return the favor, but I didn't go to their home. But yeah, I was more of a host in Turkey for couch surfers because it was a good way to meet, expats or other people from that were just passing through. And also, I'm very much, as you can see, a chatterbox. So I like to sort of show people around, take them to the beach, take them to the mountains in Turkey. And yeah, it's a great way just to expand your international network. It actually has an impact on business as well if you are a digital nomad, because usually the people that are traveling are also probably digital nomads too. And they're usually creatives like graphic designers, social media managers, copywriters, developers. So it's good to have them in your network as well. And then naturally you'll probably forge, little teams or hubs, or they might recommend you to a friend. So it's good for that as well.
Agata, sorry, it was actually Olga. Yes, Olga. In response to your comment
Oh,
about packing, said maybe we ought to have a packing masterclass from Nikki in the future, Beata. Absolutely.
this is very scary. I actually was going to do a video like this on YouTube and on my Instagram because it's true. It's actually an art form. Because honestly, about New Year's Eve, just before New Year's Eve, a friend of mine said, "Do you want to come with me to this part of the UK for a few days?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Right, I'll be there in 5 minutes." And I literally packed in about 5 minutes. Like I just threw. It was so easy because my mind is just ready. I know what I need to pack. I know what hair I need to pack. I know what, everything is just boom, 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 very quickly, just packed.
Mm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So there is an
Well,
art.
one problem that I have, I hate packing. I love
Mm.
travels, but I hate
Mm.
packing because it requires some preparation, and I just
Yeah,
don't like structure. I'm a
yeah,
creative mind,
me
so
too.
I
Yeah,
there you go. But luckily, my
yeah,
husband is helping me with that recently, so I
that's good.
trained well. So, Agata
Yeah.
Bellon is asking, what has been your most memorable nomadic
Mm.
destination for digital freedom, Nikki?
That is very easy to answer. Barcelona. Me encanta. Barcelona is my. Oh, honestly, whenever I go to Barcelona, as soon as I get on the plane, and when they say we're landing in Barcelona, my whole vibration, body, mind, soul just radiates so much joy and happiness. It was just a beautiful place, great memories, great connections. Also, I started a lot of co-working. I was going to like different co-working spaces, meeting lots of creatives. It's a very sort of, it's got that creative vibration in its DNA, Barcelona as well. You find a lot of creative people have moved there to live, creative businesses. So that is definitely my most memorable place because, some mornings I could just walk down the beach, take my coffee, then take my laptop to a cafe and just, I didn't even have to stay in one place all day. I would start the morning here by Hotel W, have a coffee, walk down the beach, go to Paseo de Gracia, sit with the laptop. I can't remember the name of the co-working space, but there was a really good new one that they built. And when I look back now, I had such a beautiful life. Oh, but I decided to come back for personal reasons. But honestly, that chapter of my life, God forbid anything happens to me, I will always say, you really lived fully, Nicola, because you really went for it. And I didn't plan these things either I didn't plan them for a long time. I always say I manifested a lot of this travel life because I just knew that I wanted to do that. And I made it happen very quickly. Like within about 2 weeks, I moved from the UK to live in Barcelona.
Right, Barcelona, beautiful city, very vibrant, but also
Mm.
very dangerous for
Pickpocketing,
some
yes.
reason.
Only
Absolutely.
pickpocketing, yeah, yeah. So you have to be
So
careful.
how
Luckily, I never had any incident with that. I think because I'm very vigilant with my bag, the way I hold it. I never have my phone out or in my pocket. It's always in my bag. But I don't think it's as dangerous. I think the most famous part is pickpocketing, but I think that can happen in any tourist destination. I'm very protective of Barcelona. Can't say anything bad about Barcelona. I wouldn't say it's dangerous. I think it's like everywhere they have their little things, and yeah. But yeah, you
Yep.
do have to you have to be vigilant in tourist cities, I would say. Mm.
Absolutely. Wherever you go, whether it's
Yeah,
Barcelona, whether it's
yeah,
Rome, you always have
yes,
to be careful with your
yeah,
possessions and
yes,
do not leave
yes.
your laptop when going to the toilet
Oh gosh,
and
no,
don't
no,
leave
no, no.
anything unattended. Well, I
Yeah.
have to say, not only you choosing rather expensive places, Hotel the W Hotel is not the
Well,
cheapest
no,
one.
I wasn't in the W, but I did used to go into the W, yeah, because I only used to take like a coffee though or a glass of prosecco. On a Sunday I used to go and have a glass of prosecco, excuse me, and plan my week ahead for work. But it's not actually the W. There's like a sort of beach bar attached to the W where you can have a coffee, about €5. I do like nice things, you know. I yeah. But coffee for €5 in Spain is expensive because you know the normal coffee is about 2.5, but for a little treat now and again, and the view is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I've got loads of photos on my OneDrive.
Hmm. I
Loads.
bet you do. So,
Loads.
how do you store these photos? Maybe that's another hack from
OneDrive, yeah,
Nikki.
Microsoft product, OneDrive and Google Drive. So I've been using Google Drive for many, many years. Oh, you don't want you to see my blue kitchen there. I've been using OneDrive for many years, Google Drive. These are tools that I've been using for many, many years. Many years I used to use Dropbox, but now my photos are stored on either in the cloud attached to my old Samsung phone or on OneDrive or on Google Drive. So as a nomad, or part of your digital freedom is to use these cloud-based tools for storage so that wherever you are, you can always access them. So yeah, that's actually how I started talking about Microsoft tools as well a lot, and then I actually ended up getting a role with Microsoft. So it's quite interesting as well. Yeah.
Very interesting. So,
Yes, yes, very interesting.
another question: do you use any of these tracking program software that is attached to your phone or your laptop? In case somebody steals it, you can navigate where it is.
My iPhone has got the Find Me, and I think this is a newer laptop that I've got, so I think this has got it on it as well. So yeah, I usually tamper in the settings, or usually it's preset most of the time. But yes, because I am a bit of a geek, I always look in the settings on every device to see what's been automatically set and what I need to reset to make sure, yeah, safety, security, how I want the lighting to be, you know, the backlighting. You can have dark lighting on your phone, so it doesn't hurt your eyes too much, the blue light. So I'm also conscious of things like that now because after, 20 years of being on devices, you have to be a bit mindful of your eyes and how much exposure you have to the blue light that comes off the devices as well. Yeah.
Right, we've got quite a lot of questions. I'm sorry, guys, for not being inclusive enough. So let's go to the next question. Olga Vasina is asking, well, maybe you've touched upon some of it. So you used Couchsurf. What's the best
Mm.
way to find your accommodation for nomadic digital freedom? Apart from Couchsurfing, there
Yeah, it
are some
depends
other
on.
tips.
Yeah, for your budget, I mean, you can go to like booking.com, or nowadays we have Airbnb you can use as well. There's lots of Facebook groups where you can do house swaps as well. So if you're just going somewhere for maybe 2 weeks, somebody might want to come to your home for 2 weeks, but obviously there has to be a bit of security there as well. But I just tend to use search engine, Skyscanner, booking.com. Not really Couchsurf. Couchsurf was more than 8, 9 years ago that I used to use that. Um, yeah, so pretty much the normal channels, really. But it does depend on your budget. But most of those search engines, you can put your budget in, and whether you want 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and it will then throw up what you want. What I would say is try and do search on incognito mode, or you can use a VPN. It sort of shields your VPN so that when you revisit the site, the price won't go up because they'll think you're just a new visitor, if that makes sense. So that's like a little hack that you can use when you're searching on these sites because they're very clever. Each time you go back, sometimes the price goes up a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. They know you're looking into buying that
Yeah,
ticket,
the
so
cookies,
they
the cookies
know.
capture
Yeah,
your data. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, right, next question. What is an ideal co working space? have in its DNA? So, what's the
Oh,
best DNA of co-working space?
okay.
What are the elements
Yeah,
that
the
are
best
critical?
elements. I think the aesthetic is very important because it's an office essentially, but you don't want it to feel too much like an office. It should almost feel like make people feel at home. So, even the architecture, the color scheme, the way the furniture and the tables are laid out, it needs to have a sort of community vibe to it as well. So there should be a space where people can, host meetings. So the one I used to go to in Barcelona, it used to be able to host a meeting there or a showcase or an evening workshop, something like this, but face to face. Need to have food there as well because people get hungry when they're working from a spot, and nice food. I think because I think that's a unique selling point for a co-working space. If they have nice food, or if they sometimes I think I've been to one where you hire a desk for a month rather than just dropping in day by day, and they used to even share foods, like the people could bring food in. This is before the pandemic, by the way. So, yeah, good food, comfortability, aesthetic that's welcoming, and a community hub. The one I used to go to in Barcelona even used to have like live music nights, so you could meet each other socially as well as when you were working, so that you actually make friends with people for networking purposes and just for social life.
Hmm.
Mm.
I, Esmeralda, is chatting about the fact that she also hates packing.
Packing, yeah,
I hate
like
packing.
either.
Maybe Nikki would do a tutorial on YouTube. I would
I
love to
should.
subscribe. There you go.
I might do one. I need to start my YouTube channel again. Yeah, I should do one because I think as well I psychologically buy clothes that are easily foldable. Like I just know that I'm a traveling person, so I don't buy, like the skirt I'm wearing today is very, you could just fold it up and it would be tiny. This jumper, yeah, it's true. A packing tutorial is needed for the world.
Digital freedom word.
Yeah, digital
What
freedom.
is your preferred data supplier for roaming as a nomad?
Oh, oh wow,
Okay,
that's a very
awesome.
good question. Oh well, I'm actually with GIF actually. I don't know why I've been with them for years. And I find them to be pretty good because, as you leave the UK and you land in your destination, as with most mobile providers or data suppliers, they just turn it to, their currency or whatever. So yeah, GIF. Are you talking about when I use Wi-Fi as well? I guess they are. Um, Whoever the provider is in the country, I can't remember who I was with in Spain actually. Here I just use Virgin Media. But yeah, I guess 3G is my data supplier. Sorry, GIFGAF is my data supplier because if I'm with just a mobile device and hotspotting to my mobile phone, they're my provider, and I've never really had any issues with them, to be honest with you. But
Thank you
that
very much,
there are
Deepak.
so many out there. You can just put choice with data providers now, and good deals because they know that there's so much competition. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. In Love and in Pain is joining us. Thank you so much for your question. Hi, Nikki. Just curious. Have you ever been stranded in a country?
Stranded. No, I don't think I've ever been stranded. It wouldn't be possible for me to be stranded because I'm very, if I was stranded, I'd just find a local hotel because I would have my technology in my hand. So I would literally just be able to, even if my battery dies, I'm that person that probably knows where there's a charging point. Or I've been known to be in the airport, crouched down by the one plug in the airport, charging my phone. I had once where there was a connection. I was going to Mauritius, and every connection, something kept on happening. And I was like, I shouldn't go on this trip. Something's wrong. And actually, something did happen, but I'm not going to talk about that now. But I wasn't stranded, let's say. I wasn't stranded, but it's an interesting story. But that would be a whole other broadcast.
There you go. Today we are only talking about positivity
Yes, yes, it wasn't
hacks.
particularly, yeah, but it wasn't stranded. It wasn't stranded. No, I was safe. I was safe. Yeah.
So, Nikki, just on this question, have
Hmm.
you ever missed your plane? And how did you deal with that?
Yes, I've missed my plane. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just begged the woman. I was like, please look at me. I've got all this luggage because that time I wasn't packed light. I was coming back from one country to live back in the UK. And I somehow got confused with the connection time. And so I got there. I was like, oh my God, I've missed it. But I just begged the woman and she said, no, you have to pay for another flight. And I said, please, honestly, it was just an error. I've got all these cases I was trying to move through with, and I really had like two big, massive, full, almost the size of my body cases. Well, half my body, I guess. And in the end, I just stood there and I think I started crying a little bit. And I think she just said, all right, I'll give you a new ticket. Because I was that way. She could tell I wasn't making up a story. I got that frustrated. I started to cry and I said, please, honestly, I've just, so I got out of buying another ticket as well.
Oh my goodness. Thank God
Honest,
for that, because
honesty is the best
usually,
policy. Yeah.
uh-huh,
At that
yeah,
time, I
the
didn't
best
have so much
policy is to
money.
cry.
No, honesty. Because I said I was honest with her, and at that time, I didn't really have a lot of money to be buying another ticket. And I said to her, please, I'm really sorry that I missed that flight, but I've got all this luggage, and it's difficult to move through the airport. And she could see in my eyes that I wasn't lying. No, I wouldn't cry or lie. I don't tell lies. No.
Mm.
That really isn't me. I'm too honest, in fact.
There you go. Honesty paid off.
Yes.
Marianne Madera says, thank you so much for the hacks, Nikki. You're awesome.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
very kind. Thank you, Marianne, for saying. Natalie has got a question. Hello, Nikki.
Mm,
Being a location independent nomad, how
mm,
long do you usually stay in one place?
mm. Well, I think I usually stay about maximum 2 years, if that, a year to 2 years. Because although I'm location independent nomad, I still like to sort of get a feel for the place, enjoy it, make friends. So I don't just go there and move on immediately. So I would say in all the main places, yeah, I stayed probably about a couple of years. Barcelona was nearly 3. Turkey was almost 3 as well. Italy was much shorter. But yeah, so about 2 years, I think then I start getting itchy feet and feel like it's time to explore new territory. And then I start, subconsciously looking on Facebook or just thinking, I always know when it's time to transform and change my life. So it's the same with the travel. I just kind of feel it inside me, itchy feet, wanderlust, and I start knowing that it's time. And then it just happens naturally. Yeah.
Right. So, how do you make friends while being a digital freedom nomad?
Facebook, to be honest with you, I join Facebook groups. There's always expat groups. There's always groups for, whatever. Also, I go to the Meetup website as well. Eventbrite is another one. And I used to also join there's an international expats community. You can join their website for a subscription of maybe like €20 a month. And they invite you to lots of events and they're global. So you'd always get invited to events. So that's how I make friends. And then and as I'm co-working or sitting in cafes where people work from, I usually get talking to people, to be honest with you. So I make friends like that. But Facebook groups, definitely, I think that's phenomenal that we've got digital platforms like social media where you can make friends. Also Instagram, I've made friends from Instagram, and then we meet up in Barcelona and or wherever I was. And then you become real friends and it's great. And then you actually use the platform to communicate with each other because you text each other in Instagram or you message each other in Facebook Messenger. And yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm very grateful for these digital tools.
Do you keep in touch with these people after you moved on to
Oh
another
yes,
country?
yes. Oh yes. All my friends are all over the world. Joy is in Africa now. Sunkissed Didi is in somewhere like Ukraine or Latvia. Yes, I've got friends all over Canada, all over the place. Some of them are still in Barcelona. Obviously, some of them were Turkish in Turkey, so they live in Turkey. They're not moved. Not all my friends are digital nomads. Some of them are the native people that live in the place as well. Yeah, I've got Spanish friends. Yeah.
So, Nikki, you talked about the building your Emporia digitally, and
Mm,
people will come and find you. Can
mm.
you walk us through what are the steps to start your Emporia, whether it's
Mm,
during pandemic or we are almost
mm,
in the phase of finishing pandemic. So I think it's
mm,
a good start, no matter what where
mm,
you are. What would you say are three main things that you need to focus when you start your building your digital
mm.
Emporia?
Well, I would say kind of identify what you're passionate about. Because, like I say, the beauty of digital freedom is that you can monetize pretty much any passion, like from being a clothes designer or a makeup enthusiast or just somebody who likes to talk to camera and host videos like this. You can monetize it, you can create a business. Then I would say just start being visible online, because for me, I've been found on different platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and it's led to opportunities or me finding clients. Also, you don't have to be perfect to show up online. You can just go live, make mistakes, be shy, tell people, oh, I'm a bit scared about being live, because actually that's part of being human. And it's also part of personal branding, like show up as your authentic self. So I'd say identify what you think you've got to give to people or what you want to monetize. It can be more than one thing as well. And then I would say start showing up online, pick a platform, pick Instagram, pick Facebook. It doesn't have to be live at first, just post something. And I would say just start telling your story, maybe. Just start posting and look at accounts that you probably admire and try and mimic some of the things that they do in their accounts. Like, how do they post on Instagram? What styles do they use? Do they use videos? Do they use reels? Do they use photos of themselves, lifestyle shots? And the third thing, I would just say work on your mindset as well, because even in 2022, it's not commonplace for people to say, do you know what, 9 to 5 isn't for me. I'm going to start my own digital emporium or empire. Empire might sound like a big word, but I will tell you that people are making, £10,000 a month from digital products and monetizing different elements, ebooks. There's so many things. I wouldn't have time to talk about them all now, but so it's visibility online. Start today. Start now. Mindset. Work on your mindset so that you overcome the fear of doing something different to what the mainstream people are doing. Although it's becoming more commonplace for people to create digital freedom funnels or to set up a blog and monetize it. Like, there's some women that I've been following for many years. So I saw them at the beginning of their journey and I see them now. And most of them are millionairesses because they just kept going. And they just started from a basic blog. Then they went and built a little bit of social media presence. Then they probably started getting invited to things like this to speak. Maybe they had a podcast. Maybe they built their YouTube, because it is about building blocks with digital. You have to kind of be across platforms because you have to build digital touch points where people can validate who you are. And you don't need to have 1,000 or million followers to generate business from the internet space. You just have to keep showing up consistently. That's the main thing, I think. Show up. Keep showing up consistently. Someone will see you and want your service, product, or just your vibe.
So, Nikki, tell us about your Emporia. What do you do?
Well, my employer, that sounds a bit more grand than what it is. So I started out in marketing 20 years ago. I studied marketing at university, media and communications degree, and I'm a chartered marketeer. Then let's go fast forward about 10 or 15 years. Sorry, my dog's eating something off the floor. Anyway, I then thought I need a break from corporate, all this stress and hustle and bustle. And I just Googled jobs abroad. And that's when I found this place in Turkey that needed like a volunteer. So I went and did that. So my Emporia is I do marketing consultancy for corporate clients. So that's like local or central government in the UK, the National Health Service. I work for Microsoft UK as a customer success manager, working with the NHS on an interim role. And in the background, when I was living abroad as a nomad, I would just find business online. So when I say show up, I just show up on Instagram, showing nice pictures of me in Barcelona, tell stories about what I'm doing, create my own hashtag Boss Babe in Barcelona. But don't look for that now because I think I took down all the posts for that. And then, yeah, the digital freedom was just getting myself out there. I used to go live on, not live, create videos and put them on LinkedIn. Before, people weren't really doing vlog style videos on LinkedIn, But I just thought, well, if it's good enough for YouTube, it's good enough for LinkedIn. And I got lots of positive feedback from that. You know, people were like, oh, you're always smiling and you look happy, and just being myself, really. So my Emporia has two strands. It has the corporate clients that I still work with. So agencies find me that work. And it has the freedom, the digital freedom funnel where people find me, or maybe I find them. But I'll be honest with you, mostly people find me in social media and say, do you do content creation? Do you do even workshops? When I was in Barcelona, a lady said, can you do some social media coaching? And I said, sure. So we used to meet at a cafe and show her how to use Instagram, tell her about hashtags, strategy. And yeah, I got paid to be a social media coach. So yeah, I don't put myself in a box. I do many things.
Mm. So none of us are able to achieve success without some help along the way. Who
Hmm.
are you most grateful to and what for?
Hmm. I suppose. Well, I'm most grateful to probably my mother, because as a child she said, you should know that you can do anything, you put your mind to. And she was right. A mother is almost the first life coach, really. So yeah, my mother. Who else am I grateful to? Probably just the universe, because I believe in the law of attraction. And I have some really good friends in my circle who are also quite dynamic people. And again, I met them through the power of digital freedom because I started a blog many years ago. Again, that blog doesn't exist anymore, but I connected with somebody, and I've got good advisors. So I'm grateful to them as well, because it's not easy being a digital nomad either, because you have to sacrifice. It's still like you're still running a business. So you do have to make some sacrifices along the way, especially when you're starting out as a freelancer. You don't just get clients straight away. You have to build up a portfolio, and you have to kind of build up, as I said, that visibility about yourself. And I made a lot of sacrifices. Like I was a highly paid consultant here, but then I just decided to be a nomad, so I had to like lower my living costs. You can't go and buy posh dresses all the time, but I didn't mind because I had my freedom, and all I needed was my flip flops and my dress, and I could work from anywhere. So I was quite happy. I didn't need all of the trappings, and it taught me some good lessons. So I'm grateful to the internet, technology, innovation, my mother for saying you can do whatever you like. And yeah, that's probably it, really.
There you go, just like the donkey in the background who passed away. There you go. Nikki, can you touch upon the law of attraction and tell us a little bit about what attracted you to the law of attraction?
What attracted me was, I think I mentioned I was working in a job, and then I decided I needed a break to go and travel because I just felt in my soul I wanted to start traveling. So a colleague of mine lent me the book The Secret, and I read it and I was like, wow, yeah, this is true. Whenever I thought about something and I just believed it would happen, and I kind of said, I would desire this to happen. I always attracted it into my life from quite a young age, before I knew about the law of attraction. So really, it's just about how you position thoughts and how thoughts become things. So, for example, when I moved to Turkey and Barcelona, people, they were like, how did you just, like, 2 weeks ago you were doing this job and then 2 weeks later you were in Barcelona? And I said, because I used the law of attraction. Because I did. Because when I make up my mind about something, like when I'm 100% clear on what my desired outcome is, and I don't have to say it to the universe, but in my mind it's clear, so it's moving through my body as an energy and a decision, then I start attracting the things that I need. So it was very easy to find a room in Barcelona, I had a little dog with me, so I didn't take a plane. I found the app Blah Blah Car. So we drove from the UK, got on the boat, and then drove the other side. And I was able to take more luggage with me. So yeah, I really believe in the power of mind over matter. You can call it manifesting, but some people give manifesting the word bad press. So I just say the mind is very powerful. When you think something and decide, you start attracting it to you. Just things, people, solutions, it just happens. Yeah.
Right. So we are heading towards the end of our show. I've got a couple of more questions, but probably not this time round. Nikki is talking about how to find digital freedom. Unfortunately, we are not free of time passing by. So, as we talk about law of attraction, I would like to
Mm.
mention a great quotation prepared by Oracy. Don't worry about being successful, but work being significant, and the success
Mm.
will
I love that
naturally
quote.
flow. That's
Yes.
quotation by
That's-
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, yes, I thought I recognized it. It's true. You don't focus on being successful. I say focus on being you. There's a word I love called Meraki. Your Meraki. Only you have your Meraki. You're unique as a person. So use it. Use your Meraki. I dance on my Instagram sometimes. I sing everything because that's who I am. And that's what people say. Oh, sometimes Nikki, I just see you smiling and I think, yes, I feel energized today.
Mm.
Yeah.
Information is nutrition, knowledge is nutrition, art is nutrition, and they set
Mm,
us free. Internet is a great library. Great
mm,
library is a freedom within wisdom in this digital age. That's
mm,
Boris Gensel says that. Right, we
mm,
are heading towards the end of our show, and we've got very vital questions here, Nikki.
mm, mhm.
What was the number one book that you wished you read before you started your career or started your digital freedom journey?
Mm, mm. Probably this book I'm reading now, and I'm trying to find it. The title, oh gosh, it's a book about the mind. Um, just about the mind. It's about the chimp mind and how, when we're scared of doing things, we get this inner voice that says, why do you want to do something different? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? Or you might think, no, it's not possible for me to do that. Not for me. So I wish I'd read more mindset books because I think I wouldn't be here now. Because I got to a point where I thought, well, maybe I should try to be normal. So I came back to the UK. I entered back into corporate life. And well, I have to be careful what I say because this is live on the internet and people could watch this replay. I don't regret anything in life, but sometimes I think, maybe if I'd worked a little bit more on the mindset, I could have built the empire up a bit more and or stayed more in the digital nomad space. Yeah.
Right, and are you working on any exciting projects right now?
I'm just working with a public sector client. It's not super exciting, but it's okay. I'm doing a range of events, planning communications, like writing for the internal website and planning an employee engagement event because I work across the communications mix. So it could be PR, internal communications, employee engagement, change communications, because I work mostly on digital transformation programs. But this particular contract isn't a digital transformation program. It's more about building a corporate strategy and helping the employees get to grips with the new vision and refreshing the assets. So posters, signage, and all of that kind of stuff, like the branding for the organization to make it a bit more modern. So I do find anything creative exciting. So I should say, yes, it's very exciting because you don't
There
know
you
what it, but yeah, for me, it has been 20 years in marketing. So for me, creativity is always exciting. So yeah, it's
I,
good.
so
It's good.
you started as an embryo, I believe, if you've been working in
No, I
marketing
wish I was an
for
embryo.
20.
I'm 45, so no, I'm not. I didn't start as an embryo.
Wow, my goodness, you're only 1 year younger than me. There you
Yes, I'm
go.
45
I
years,
didn't know
46 this
that.
year. Yes, I'm not a young girl.
Oh my goodness, the
But women
best
over
year,
40 are the best.
1976. There you
Yes,
go.
1976. Yes, yes.
Absolutely. So, can you please give us your favorite life lesson quote and how did it change it?
Oh, my favorite life lesson quote. The only constant in life is change. That's my favorite quote because, when I think about being a nomad or any phase of my life, I just think, well, it's always going to change. And if you feel in your heart that you want to change your life, you've got to go for it because life, it really is too short. I could have said, no, I can't be a digital nomad. It's dangerous to not. People did say to me, you can't do that. You'll never be able to come back and get a job in corporate. But I was like, yes, I can. It's a big wide world out there. And we are lucky enough to have technology in our hands. And I can do whatever I put my mind to be quite frank. And anyone can. And that's what the top percentile of, we can call them successful or wealthy people. I don't say rich, I say wealthy, because I can tell you all the people that are incredibly rich have worked on their mindset and overcome their limiting beliefs. So that's the key. The only constant in life is change. Yeah. I use that a lot because of working with people around digital transformation. I'm always telling them that you shouldn't be scared of learning how to use a device or Microsoft Teams or Zoom or whatever, because it's part of the evolution of life. It's just part of life. And it's an opportunity to learn something new. And when you're learning new things, your brain is stimulated, and I think it raises your energy. So, yeah, that's it really.
And when you talk about change, the big
Mm.
change was obviously pandemic, and
Hmm.
that leads us to the next question.
Mm.
Imagine the pandemic is over and you can have private breakfast anywhere in the world with any person in the world. Who would you invite and where would you go to?
Wow. Wow. That is a phenomenal question. Ooh. I think on my bucket list is Maldives, Maldives. So I'm going to put Maldives because I keep imagining, when you're in the pool and the breakfast floats to you on a tray and you're just in the pool, maybe eating breakfast or sitting at the side of the pool. Who would I have breakfast with? Oh, wow. I probably Oprah is somebody that would be on my list. Oprah, because I think she would just have some really wise words for somebody like me or anybody. Or who else would I have breakfast with? Oh, that's a very good question. I suppose it's Oprah Winfrey. I think she's a woman that I'd like to meet. She's a woman of color like myself who has been through, ups, downs, and turnarounds, as I like to call it in life. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind having breakfast with Oprah in the Maldives. That would be nice.
She definitely has got through quite a lot of changes.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
gonna be inspiring
Very,
breakfast
very
for sure.
inspiring. Yes, yeah.
Right. So Nikki, I know that you are going somewhere in with your current strategy or with your
Mm,
future clients. What's
mm,
next for Nikki? I mean, once
mm.
this client is over, are you planning any exciting location for your next venture?
At the moment, not really planning a location, but maybe planning to host, helping people find their digital freedom, crafting out their like personal brand, mostly women, I would say. Um, I'm trying to create like a signature, they call it a container or a package, that a woman on the rise, she's probably not new to business, and she doesn't necessarily have to be a nomad, but she would want to learn some of these digital skills that could enhance her personal brand or launch something online or monetize her passions and give her a sense of purpose. But it wouldn't just be about the digital skills, because I found that in my career and or digital nomad career, there are lots of facets that need to come together. How you look, how you present yourself, how you talk, how you walk, how you sit in front of the camera, she says, on things like this. Even the makeup you wear on camera has an impact. I've chosen a very neutral lipstick, as you can see. It's barely there. And I think there's a lot of etiquette that you need to learn, tech etiquette. That's quite important. And yeah, even the aesthetic of your Instagram or your Facebook is important. So these are some things that I'm thinking of maybe bringing together for that woman who wants to really level up, and she also wants to work on her mindset as well, because I can't stress enough how important it is to do the work on the mind and the body, because a lot of people are not realizing their potential because they don't think they're worthy of having that life. And that's because they have limiting beliefs. There's a book called, or a quote, or a book about the body keeps the score of everything that's happened to you, all the traumas, all the pains, all the rejections, all the bullying, all the this, all of that. You got to work on those things to elevate.
Mm. Right. Thank you so much, Nikki, for your very useful feedback
You're
on how
welcome.
to be, and live and breathe a digital nomad life.
Mm,
Digital freedom is important. Wherever in the world you are, you can set it up with a click of your button. Next
mm,
week, we're going to talk with Harry de Phillips, who, as some of our viewers know, we hosted on Positivity Hacks Delivered just last year. She talked about sisters in SEO, search engine optimization. This time
Mm,
she's going to talk about why public relations is important to your brand, very much in line with what
mm,
you're going to talk about and prepare for your
mm.
audience. So hopefully you
Yeah,
will join us,
I will.
Nikki.
I will. I will.
There you go. And
All
in
of
the
us.
meantime, I've got to continue, and that's it from number 60 of PhD livestream. Thanks to our guest, Nikki Stewart. To stay updated and ensure you never miss a positivity hack delivered, follow Woman on it and turn on notifications to be alerted once a video has been released. When you focus on positives, the positives get more positive. As always, our positivity quote comes from Positive Thinking Only and goes, look for something positive each day, even if some days you have to look a little bit harder. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude, as Maya Angelou says. And we
Mm,
know change is inevitable. So thank you, Nikki, for joining us. Thank you very much, our commenters today: Olga Vasina,
thank you.
Agata Bellon, Mary Esmeralda in Love and in Pain, Marianne Madera, Natalia Lanta. Good luck, good digital freedom to wherever in the world you are. Today is your day to hack the future, hack the positivity you want.